December 29th, 2024. Three days away from the new year. I'm at Brandywine Park. It's a Sunday, and there's about 20 to 30 minutes left before church service starts at the church that I go to. And I want to kind of just, reflect on something real quick. I want to talk about peace. Peace is often something that is mentioned in church and quoted from the scriptures in the Bible, but trying to grasp that or apply that to our own lives can be easy or be difficult, depending on the circumstances we find ourselves surrounded by. And sometimes in the search to find peace, we can often do things that are distracting. Distracting or time wasting, or even just not good from a developmental circumstance. And ultimately, I think no matter where you are in life, if you believe in different religions or no religions, if you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, if you believe in God or you don't, you believe in science, like, everybody wants peace. But how you find it differs from person to person. And for me, peace looks like going to the park and being in nature. That's like a representation of peace for me, just seeing things in harmony with one another. And there's just still waters, there's just a calm river flowing, and peaceful noises. It's not too much noise going on. That's what peace looks like for me. And I think we live in a world which doesn't value peace as it should. We don't value peace as we should, because there is a common belief and even a deception that goes on in the world today, which I feel like also stems from hustle culture, or gives leading to hustle culture, where it's like opportunities are knocking at our door and we should be open and have our eyes open to those opportunities. I mean, while I think those are good things and can also be bad things depending on what those opportunities are, I think the focus on opportunities and just always trying to grasp to one opportunity and the next, it can be destructive for our peace. And I think even from a Christian perspective, destructive for our walk with God, because we can, or at least I can take my focus off of God because I'm trying to chase the opportunities. But in taking my focus off of God and chasing those opportunities, I give way for the thoughts and the schemes of the devil to come into my life and have some sort of, presence, and also allow myself to be manipulated, chasing after money, chasing after fame, chasing after women, or relationships, chasing after a good feeling. Like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Because I think good opportunities are given to us and bad opportunities. But if we're not careful, the good opportunities can turn into an idol. They can turn into something that weighs us down. That become a burden, that become an obligation versus a part of life for us. And I think, wanting to take opportunities and grow also comes from a good place, or it comes from a genuine place. But I found that in myself when I've chased opportunities in the past. It wasn't always for the best reason, and my heart wasn't always in it. And when your heart really isn't fully into something, you start looking for things that make you feel good, because there's this void that a lot of people have that really can only be filled by the love and the presence of God and the peace of God. That when we don't focus on God in our lives, or we try too hard to focus on God in our lives, but in our own way, we start to lack contentment. And the Bible says that godliness and contentment is good gain. And the Bible says a lot of things about contentment and godliness. And even, if you are like a studious person, or you've studied the Bible, or you're a Christian who reads the Bible and studies it, I think one of the fruit of the Spirit is peace, joy, peace, love, like all these things like self-control and patience, like these these things, like, they stem from a very good place spiritually, physically, and I think contentment is a key component. Is a key component in anyone's lives to be able to have any of those things, especially to have peace. Being a person who has struggled in the past with anxiety and overthinking a lot, I can say a lot of that overthinking and anxiety came from a lack of contentment, and also a lack of trust in God, and a lack of being able to love who I am, even the parts that are not lovable or I don't see as lovable. And I could tell, because when I saw those in other people, you know, parts that were unlovable, you know, it was hard for me to love them. There was a lack of contentment, and it was hard for them to probably love me, or at least, you know, people thought they were loving me, but it was a burden. Let me rephrase that. There were times when people's love for me felt like a burden, and so I can tell, like, in my heart there's a lack of contentment. And so, you know, even in the Bible, you know, it says God chastises those he loves. So there's that. But I think there's also a way. There's also ways that you can go about chastising, you know, teaching somebody, disciplining them. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, the lesson is, for today, is peace is valuable. And the God of all peace, you know, he keeps us in perfect peace when our minds are stayed on him. And a part of that peace comes with contentment, comes with trust. If you aren't even a Christian or a believer in God, contentment is a valuable thing to have. Being able to appreciate the things that you have, even our time, right? Because like I was talking about earlier, there can be like a need to grab onto opportunities, but we can do that in the idea that we're being diligent and we're working and we're doing something that's beneficial for us. But sometimes over-seeking or going after all the opportunities can be a waste of time, and it can be a distraction, especially when you weigh it out. You know, if you lose money, right? If you lose heart, if you know, if you find yourself losing time and money and things like that, and it's not for the things of God, it will bring sorrow. It will bring pain. And that's the real time waster. And those things can even be good things, or things that look good, like a new job. like a high-paying job. You get paid well, you got benefits. But if you lack contentment, you lack peace in your heart with being in those jobs. It doesn't matter how diligent you are in those jobs. When you lack those things, there's a need to rest, and there's a need to look back, or not even look back, but just look over life and think, am I content right now, or am I chasing things in order to have fulfillment so that I can be content? So I don't know. I think if I could share anything today, it would be that. Think about peace and how valuable it is, and learning to be content. And contentment, helps to breed endurance, and endurance helps to produce some sort of hope in our lives. Because contentment doesn't necessarily have to mean you stay in the same place all the time, but contentment, I think, is something that people should carry with them wherever they go. So if they do go to the next level, or if they don't go to the next level, the place they find themselves wanting to be in, they can be content and have peace. And as a believer, knowing that the God of all peace will keep us, in perfect peace. He will carry out his promises. So I just wanted to reflect on that real quick. That's the message today. Thank you.